I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag.
What's up? You are now listening to FY Fly the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna.
What's up, my FY Fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FY Fly podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're gonna be chopping up with U.S. Marine, motivational speaker, and the CEO of We Create Generational Wealth, Mr. Jaylen Feliciano. How you doing, bro? How you doing?
What's up, man? Listen, I'm blessed to be here, brother. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm blessed to have you here, bro. Finna drop some game for the folks. Finna provide some value. So you know we finna turn up, man, cause really
crazy.
here at FY Fly, we like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff, man. So we wanna get some of your journey and pick up and learn some of the lessons that you picked up along your way. So, bro, talk to us about the Marines and, what made you go and some of the major lessons that you still carry to this day.
So, before you guys even see this podcast, I want you guys to know first, it's possible for you, right? It's possible.
100%.
To answer your question, though, bro, is, man, let me say this. I joined the United States Marine Corps at 17 years old. So,
Fresh
I graduated
out of high school.
I graduated high school May 24th. My birthday was May 26th. And I went straight to boot camp May 28th. So for me, I didn't even have any leeway to really explore what, a graduate does. Like I didn't even go to college. I was in and out. So for me, I really had to become a man so much faster than most of my friends. Like I remember when I went in and I came out, because it's 3 months of boot camp. I came out after 3 months and I'm looking at the circle, like my circle who I used to hang around, and I go back and they're still, smoking, right, gambling, doing, all of that stuff that high schoolers do. So for me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, like I can't even resonate with you guys anymore. Like for me, I was so my mind has already been shifted. And it was like, I can't even do the same things that y'all doing anymore. I can't smoke because I get drug tested. Right. And I'm like, I can't do hood rat stuff anymore because I'm going to get in trouble.
I'm a whole Marine.
So it was definitely a mind shift, bro. It was definitely a mind shift. But I'm definitely humbled that I even made it through boot camp, because that was a crazy experience.
Man, I got two questions for you. I want to know, how did that make you feel when you went back and couldn't resonate, with your particular friends? How did that make you feel? And how did you, you was able to separate yourself, I believe, because you went, back to the military, but just how did that make you feel, bro?
I tell everybody all the time, the people around you, are they a deposit or are they a withdrawal?
Oh, hello now. Hold on, I need you to elaborate on that, because that's where I was going with it. Eliminating the distractions, eliminating them negative people from your life. So kind of elaborate for the folks that's listening right now.
100%. So again, I tell people, are people in your life who you're communicating with on a day-to-day basis, are they a deposit or are they a withdrawal? Right. And I tell people this all the time. And the reason why is this is because sometimes, right, and if this is you, then right, you all you got to do is blink at me through this video, right, wherever you're at, whatever time it is. I'm probably resonating with you, but more times than not, we're the person who is really pouring a lot of energy into other people, pouring so much into other people, helping them become the best version of them. Right. And when you don't have nobody pouring into you, what happens, right, when you keep feeding people over and over and over and over again, you begin to starve. Right. That's just like us sitting at a dinner table, right? And you got 9 of your friends and no one's pouring into you, right? Meaning you're feeding and paying for everybody else, right? What happens if you're at that dinner table and you paying for 9 people plus yourself? You're going to begin to look at your paycheck and your pocketbook and say, you know what? I'm losing a decent amount of money. So that's how I think about life. Are the people in my life, are they celebrating me more than they're tolerating me? Are they actually pouring into me? Are they helping me, whether it's financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally? Are they beneficial to my growth? Are they helping me get to that next level, or are they just draining me? Or like, am I the person that they come to every time they need some type of sauce? They need some type of play, right? Like they need some type of maybe motivate, like mindset. Like, am I the person who they're coming to? And if yes, is that answer?
And then as soon as you can't give it to them, my fault.
No.
As soon as you can't give it to them, is look how quick they deposit you. Look how quick they would throw you away. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you say no, as soon as you can't give them that sauce or give them that game. So just be aware of people like that. And I'm so glad you took it there, bro. And the second question I really had for you was, if you had to say like one of the biggest lessons or one biggest lesson that you've learned from your military, your Marine experience, what would you say it would be for the folks listening?
Are we talking about personal life or business? Because I got two.
Give us both. Drop it on.
Give us both. On the business aspect, I will say delegation. Right. So one of the biggest things, and I'm gonna kind of elaborate just a little bit. One of the biggest things that we do and teach in the military, really, not just the Marine Corps, but in the military, is there's a delegation process. Meaning, if there's a mission, if there's something that needs to be done, what's going to happen is, right, let's think about the higher ranks, right? Like let's just say this is some type of chart. This is the higher ranks. What's going to happen is, hey, they get the mission. They know what to do. Now they're going to task somebody else out to do it. So when you look at it at that aspect, and I look at it in the business aspect, is guess what? I don't have more than 12 hours in a day to work on my business. So what I have to do is I have to delegate some of my work, right, to other people to get things done in order for my business to continuously keep flowing. Like, I can't physically sit there and take all the calls. That's why I have a sales team. Right? I can't physically, respond to all of my DMs at once. That's why I have somebody responding. I can't physically, set up appointments for people. That's why I have an appointment. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things in place that keeps me flowing. And I really learned the delegation process really from the military, because anything that is told to me, because I'm at the rank where I don't have to do as much. It's more of a, hey, do this, Jaylen. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Hey, the people under me, listen, this is what you guys need to do. X, Y, and Z. Let me know once you get it done. Right? Does that make sense? So,
makes sense.
For me on that aspect, that's the business aspect. Now, when we're going to the personal aspect, I would really have to say courage and integrity, man. Courage and integrity. Okay. Right. And one of the many things I love that the Marine Corps really instilled in me is the resiliency, like to never take no for an answer and to keep going with life, even when life says no. Sometimes you're going to get knocked on your feet. And one thing I love that Les Brown says, he says, even if you get hit and you land on your back, guess what? Look up, because if you can look up, you can get up. So it's like having that mentality already instilled in me at a young age. It's like, it kind of sets me apart from a lot of people who are my age. And because I have that extra, I guess you can say, mentality that the Marine Corps kind of instilled in me at a very young age, I'm able to understand things a little bit more. I'm able to do things a little bit faster. I know what it takes to give 110%, right? Because I've been through it, right? So that's one of the many things I would take away, bro, when it comes to personal and business, man.
Bro, I love that, bro. I love that. And like, speaking of that delegation, I want to get your thoughts on, when do you think, because how long do you plan on, if you don't mind me asking, how long do you plan on being in the Marines? Because what I want to get, from you, some value and some game from you is, how long should we be using our 9-to-5s as the bank, until our business blows? Like, kind of give us, I feel that's one of the biggest, conversations right now, is because some people are even being shamed for working a 9-to-5. Like some entrepreneurs, some gurus on IG and social media, they shaming folks for working a 9-to-5. So kind of give us that game there.
That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. And again, for me, right, I look at it at this aspect. My 9-to-5 pays the bills, while my 6 to 12 builds generational wealth. So
that makes sense.
From me working in the military, right? again,
Mm-hmm.
and just to give you guys a real quick, kind of how my day kind of goes is literally I'm up at 5
Yeah.
a.m. and then I get off at 5 p.m. So I work more than a 9 to 5, right? And then I work on my business from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Right, and then 12 a.m., 1 a.m. I'm typically get about maybe 4 to 5, 6 hours of sleep on a good day, and then I'll just rinse and repeat the day. But to answer your question is this, man. I tell people all the time, like literally, this is what I always say. I say, listen, you need a 9 to 5 to fuel your business. Right? Most people look down on a 9 to 5, but what people have to realize is, where the hell are you going to get money? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, we get it. Like, credit is good. Yeah. Like, okay, but how are you going to pay that monthly bill? like, what are you going to do? So I tell people, like, if you currently don't have enough money to sustain you, you need to go get you a 9 to 5. But check this out. In that 9 to 5, you need to figure out what is that skill set that you can master, because your skill set will always be your safety net. Meaning, guess what happens if your 9 to 5 was to ever fire you, right? If they was to say goodbye, Jaylen, what would happen is once you actually build upon that skill set, is if they was to ever fire you, you can now say, hey, I don't need you 9 to 5. Why? Because I've now mastered the skill set of maybe working on computers. I've maybe mastered the skill set of creating websites. I've now mastered the skill set of maybe plumbing. It does not matter. Maybe driving trucks. It does not matter. But whatever it is, hands-on that you can physically do, it will always pay you for the rest of your life. So I don't want you guys to look down upon getting a 9 to 5. No, I need you guys to get a 9 to 5. Like, you need to go get a 9 to 5 to fuel your business. You need to have something that will basically hold you up and hold you back, just in case, right? Not to throw this out there, but just in case, you want your business to go right, and God forbid it just goes left. Like, you need money for a rainy day. So I'll tell you this, once you are making comfortably over, I say minimum, this is me personally, minimum $250,000 a year. One, you need to get people's and systems in place. That's for one. And two, that's when you can kind of not really let your foot off the gas. But as far as having that 9 to 5, you can really step back and say, you know what? How can I optimize my business to the next level now? Right? Like, what do I need to do now? Again, this is my personal opinion now. Now, you may start maybe at $100,000 a year, right? You may start at 150, whatever you're making. But what I will say is this: have people's and systems in place. And if you don't know what systems stand for, system stands for saving you some time, energy, and money, right? And number two, I need you guys to actually understand that you can't go from 0 to 100. It's going from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on and so on and so on, until you actually get to the level to where you need to get to.
Bro, that is huge that you mentioned that, bro, because especially, I didn't even know you was 21, bro. I didn't even know you was that young. I at least thought you was my age. I at least thought you was like 24. So, like, for our generation, we always see, we see the little babies, but we didn't see the 6 years that he was touring before that. We just see, he get on with the freestyle. Everybody see that. Now he pop.
I seen a post. They was like, the freestyle by Lil Baby is like the national anthem now. And I'm like, yeah.
Facts. Facts. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's the national anthem now, but that joint been out for 3-4 years now. You know what I mean? And now it's getting the national accreditation that it needs, because the song is great. But you know what I'm saying? It's now getting that. So kind of like speak to the folks listening who feel that they can do something for 2 months or 3 months and it just pop and blow. Like let's speak some. I would hope it happens, but for the 99% of us, it ain't gonna be like that. So kind of elaborate on that.
That's a fact. I'm gonna say two things. One, success doesn't happen overnight, and two, success is not convenient, right? And what I mean by success isn't convenient is this: like, y'all have to understand. Like, for one, you gonna hit a lot of bumps in the road. You gonna have a lot of bruises. I'm talking about you gonna hit your head on that concrete so hard in entrepreneurship, and I tell people this. People like to compare entrepreneurship, and I feel like a lot of people just like the word entrepreneurship just sounds good. I don't know. It's just something about it. Like someone coming up to you and they saying, "What you doing?" I'm an entrepreneur. Like it just sounds good, right? But it's really
Facts.
not that good.
Way better than businessman, businesswoman.
But it's really not that good. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but it's not that good. And what I mean by that is when you're an entrepreneur, it's hard. And what I mean by hard is, guess what? When you're just now starting out as being an entrepreneur, guess what you have to do? You have to be your own marketer. You have to be your own sales team, right? You have to be your own website designer, right? You may have to create your own logo, right? Like you may have to be your own appointment setter. You may have to literally do everything that a actual high corporation would have peoples and systems in place for, right? Accounting, putting people, like you have to handle that for yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that being an entrepreneur is not easy. So I don't want anybody coming into this looking at everybody's like lifestyle, looking at everybody's social media platform and YouTube and saying,
look at them highlights.
You know what? Like, yo, FYI, like, yo, I want to do that. Like, they killing it. Like this. Hey, Jaylen, like you make it like, okay, well, you doing this? Oh, that's easy. I can do it. No, it wasn't that easy because everything that my boy learned, everything that I learned, everything that you will see most people who's actually on podcasts, most people who's maybe speaking about financial literacy, it took them time to learn.
These is all gems, and I need y'all not only just to be listening, but actually take some of these gems that you can apply to your life and implement them and watch your life change, man. Cause he's spitting right now, man. We done got my man warmed up over here, man. So let's go ahead and jump into this business credit. What's some of the most profitable businesses to start using business credit for?
100%, man. Most of the business that I typically see is I've seen people get started with Airbnb, e-commerce, the trucking industry. I've seen people use it for the car rental industry because there's a lot of business auto loans that you can get in your business name. So that way you guys don't have to have it report to your personal credit. So that way it doesn't affect your DTI at all. Right. So there's many things that you guys can use it for. Like not even just business. I see people use, business credit cards to travel for free, to make to do almost and literally everything off of their business credit. Because check this out, and I don't want to dive in too deep into it because I know you got a lot more. But one of the biggest things that I love about business credit cards in particular is they do not report to your personal credit, right? Depending on the card, right? Like I know Amex, right? But I think Discover It, they have a couple cards, like business cards that report. So make sure you do your due diligence. But for most of it, right? For most business credit cards, they do not report to your personal credit, right? Meaning, guess what happens if my business credit card, I have a $10,000 limit on it and I spend $10,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like nothing happens. It's not going to reflect on my personal credit score, right? So my personal credit is not going to go down because of that, right? And for most of you guys that don't know, your credit utilization is like 30% or something like that of your actual business or personal credit profile. So meaning if your credit utilization goes up, your credit score goes down. So imagine if you have a 10K limit on your business credit card. And you I really need an extra 5K. You already spent 5,000, but you really need an extra 5K. You can go ahead and get that extra 5K from that business credit card, right? And it doesn't reflect on your personal credit score. So,
unlike how on personal credit, if you spent that 10K, your max was 10K, and your credit utilization 100%.
On that thing going down. Don't play.
Facts. That's telling you, man. So I feel like, especially in our community, we need to make sure that we have, we have our small businesses, we have our, solopreneurs, but we need to make sure that these businesses look credible so we can actually get the big time funding that you speak of. So elaborate and touch on what are some things that we can do to make our business look credible, like having a real business address, a real phone number? Like, elaborate on some of those things, bro. Yo, are you ready to hit your next level? Do you want to increase your drive, destiny, and dollars? Well, if so, check out my new book, From College to COVID, 24 Lessons Learned During the Lockdown, where I've compiled 5 of the biggest lessons I learned going from college to COVID to starting my financial literacy empire, FYFly, plus 19 lessons from your favorite entrepreneurs, entertainers, and athletes that have been featured on our show. There's literally something for everyone. So purchase your copy today at fyfly.com/From College to COVID. Let's go.
So one of the many things that I teach is I don't really like teaching people how to get funding. I like to teach people how to get max funding, right? Meaning, how can you get the most amount of money from your business, right? From the banks.
Yeah.
So one of the many things, and check this out, the things that I'm going to say, you guys are able to get funding without it, but you may only get about no more than like 20 something thousand, right? And I mean,
and we said max, man. We want the max.
I'm talking about we want 100K in funding off of one BLOC, right? Business line of credit, like that. That's what I aim for. That's what I hope other people aim for. So with that being said, though, I'm gonna give you guys a list real quick, and whoever's watching, I hope you guys are literally writing down notes, because one of the many things that I've learned is note takers are money makers. But not only that, you got to take action, though. I'm talking about immediately as soon as this ends. You should be pulling this up on your other tabs, and you should just be doing it right with me. Like, I need you guys to really execute on the information, because this right here can change your life and your business. So one of the first things, right? Go register your actual entity, right? Whether it's an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, whatever it is that you guys have, go ahead and register that with the Secretary of State within the state that you're in. The next thing, you need to go and get your EIN, which is your employer identification number. If anybody ever charges you for an EIN, shame on them. It's free. You can go to irs.gov, irs.gov, go get your free EIN. The next thing, you need to go get your Dun & Bradstreet number, right? Your Dun & Bradstreet number is your DNB number stands for Dun & Bradstreet, and Dun & Bradstreet is one of the biggest business reporting agencies that reports, right, your business credit score, right? So literally that kind of like how, you have TransUnion, right? Equifax, that's kind of how Dun & Bradstreet is, but it's another name, but it's really only for business.
But for business credit.
So I need you guys to go to dnb.com. You need to go establish that. Like, you need to go get your DNB number, so that way when you have trade lines coming in, that's who they're reporting to. The next thing, you really want to establish yourself as one of these big corporations. I'm not talking about some small little business that we doing and that's in the crib, right? Maybe doing that. Like, no, we got to make it seem like our business is crazy legitimate. I'm talking about, we got to make it seem like we one of them Fortune 5, like we them. So one of the biggest things I tell people is you need to go get your business address, right? You guys can go to postscanmail.com. Go get your business address, and this right here, you can get a virtual address. Right now, I don't prefer no PO box, right? I don't prefer that. I know a lot of banks don't prefer that anyway. So you need to go get you a virtual address. Now, when you're looking at these virtual address, me personally, I like to look at big skyscrapers, like these big buildings, right? Like mine is some skyscraper in Atlanta that I've never been to in my life. Yeah. So you guys can literally do the same thing. Like, we're not going to put our home address. I've seen people get away with the home address only because of COVID, though. That's the only reason why. But now, since the pandemic is slowly kind of coming out, right? We kind of going back into kind of the real world. I know it's a lot of stuff coming out there, but again, a lot of people aren't getting away with that with that home address anymore when it comes to actually getting max funding. So go to postscanmail.com. The next thing, you need to go get your business phone number, right? Preferably, I tell people to go get a toll-free phone number, meaning an 800 number. So an 800, blah, 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 whatever your phone number is, right? And you guys can literally go to evoice.com, evoice.com, and go get you a toll-free phone number in order for your business to look legitimate. If you was to call mine, it would be a 800 something. I don't even know it, but It will either you can connect it to different phones. So I have it connected to one of my phones that I have, and then I also have it connected to one of my employees' phones that I have. So, it goes through both. And you can set it up so that way all the calls are literally still coming straight to your phone. But when they call, they're calling from a business phone number. I hope someone caught that. Right. The next thing, right? I need you guys to go get a business bank account. Right. I tell people all the time, your personal assets, your personal money that's coming in, right, is not your business. And your business money that coming in, that ain't yours. I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but check this out. You should not be having business assets, right? Business cash flow coming in, right? That money that's coming in. You should not be using that money to pay for your personal liabilities.
Man, you might go ahead and say that again, man, because this is going to help a lot of people, bro, because a lot of new entrepreneurs, a lot of rookie entrepreneurs, we're not separating our accounts, or we don't even know to separate, or we may not even know to open up a business bank account. So go ahead and say that again for me, man.
Listen,
this is huge, right?
If you are just starting out in your business, I'm gonna give you guys one of the easiest ways to separate yourself from entrepreneurs who are currently starting out as well. Your business money that's coming in, right? But once you really start, getting things flowing and getting things going, you need to separate them, meaning you need to go get two different bank accounts, right? Why? Why do you think you do a 1099 and a W-2? One for your business, one for your personal. Like Uncle Sam gonna want his cut too now, right? And not only just that, whenever you want to go get funding, guess what they're gonna ask for? They may typically ask for your 3 months statement of your business bank account. Let them see that it's in your personal name. No funding for you. No funding for you.
No go.
So I need you guys to really separate that. Like go and get with, and something like this, you don't even have to get with a credit unions. It's typically, who I highly recommend for people to get. But, when it comes to these though, for banks, like go and get you with any like Bank of America, like go just get you a business bank account set up so that way your cash flow that's coming in is being directed right into that actual business account and not your personal account. You guys need to get yourself on 401 listings, right? Meaning you need to go list your business online, right? Whether it's Yelp, whether it's Yellow Pages, like you have to go list your business, whether it's on Google, right? And what I mean by listing your business is if I was to look up your business, like your business should pop up on Google. Right.
Man, first of all, I want to tell you, thank you for coming and dropping these gems all on us because people is paying for these gems. People is paying for this information. So thank you for coming and really bringing this value to these folks, man, because it's heavy, man.
I appreciate that.
Like he said, make sure you're following those steps that he's given, and then also write them joints down. Just don't try to go on memory. Don't try to, just type it in. Write them in a place that you can actually go back and access and make a little note checklist. And you don't have to do like my man said earlier. You don't have to go from a 0 to 100. It's going from 0 to 10. 10 to 20, and then mess around, go to 20, 40, 46, you know what I'm saying? So it start building, man. So I think that's amazing for you giving them that game, bro. You sparked so many questions in my head, bro. And I want to touch on how we were talking about the entrepreneur or the person that wants to be an entrepreneur that's doing, has plans of doing 20 different things. Kind of touch on how your approach is, how you approach to what you're doing. Is it more of let's focus on building up the t-shirt brand and the motivational speaking, and then we'll, go elaborate or get bigger to different things? Or like, where's that balance of focus on one thing and expanding, or doing multiple things? Like, talk to us about that a little bit.
Let me say this for me, bro. I had so much. I'm talking about, I heard so many plays. And I'm like, that looks profitable. That looks profitable. That looks profitable. I want to do that. Oh, I love that. Right. And it was like, where do I go? Like, what do I really want to do? For me personally, I don't want to speak on everybody else, but for me personally, this is how I found mine. I literally said, what can I do to make the most amount of money without spending the most amount of my time? So for me, I figured that it was digital products. So that's the space that I kind of went. So I went to digital products, meaning, and this is one thing that I highly advise everybody to do. I'm talking about from 6 months to about like a year. You need to put your head down and you need to like tone in on like what you actually want to learn. And it could be something as simple as, whether it's marketing, whether it's Facebook ads, like learning Facebook ads, maybe learning TikTok ads, maybe, learning personal credit repair, maybe business credit, like whatever it is, you need to tone in for 6 months to a year. This is literally what I did. Check this out. I seen somebody on TikTok post some type of video about some type of side hustle, right? And literally what I did was I studied that side hustle for maybe, I think it was maybe max 6 months, but I was studying. I'm talking about every day. I was on Google. I was on YouTube. I was looking at people who was doing it. I was hopping on calls with them, picking their brain. They ain't even know. I'm acting like I'm interested in a product or service, but really I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out how to get as much information as possible. And I got so much information. I'm talking about, I'm doing it myself now. I'm making a little bit of okay, that's cool. This is kind of cool. And I seen that this dude was selling a course for like $100 and something, right? It was crazy. It was like $100 and something for the course, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create the same thing, but I'm not gonna sell it for no $100. I'm gonna give the same amount of game plus more, but I'm gonna sell it for a little bit less. So I believe I sold my course. I think I studied it. I learned it. I made money off of it. I created a course, and then I sold it for I was selling it. I think it was for like $20 something or something like that. It was like 20 or like $30 something, and he was selling it for like 100 at the time. So for me, everybody was coming to me because they seen that I was giving out so much game. They seen that I was giving out so much information. And one of the main things I tell people is give your best sauce, give your best game away for free. So I was giving out so much game, so much information. I created a little $20 course off of it, man. And for me, from there, I realized the importance of waking up and seeing money come through my bank account while I'm waking up. I'm talking about waking up to an extra $500 to $1,000. Like that's different.
Come on, passive income.
Like this,
come on, passive income.
But like if that feels good to anybody else, like y'all gotta let me know. So, and I'm sitting there, I'm just waking up, man. I'm like, I'm seeing an extra like 500 to 1,000 coming in every day off of this. Like my TikToks is going viral off of it. I'm targeting the right people, right? And for me, it was like, you know what? I'm realizing that money is coming to me abundantly now. Like it's just flowing, bro. And I'm realizing I don't have to spend so much of my time. Like I create, one of the many things is this, right? Me personally, when I got into the digital spaces, what can I create once and sell for the rest of my life? So I created it one time, but I'm continuously making money off of it every day. Every day, bro.
Continuously eating off that joint.
One of the many things that I figure out that was for me. Again, this was for me. I figured out, you know what can I make the most amount of money out of without spending the most amount of time? And that's only because I don't have a lot of time in my day. The military holds me back. It really does. It hinders me more than anything.
Understood.
I'm not able to go to masterminds, conferences when I want to. I have to call up. Like, it sucks, right? So for me, it was all about the time management, the time perspective, and what can I do, again, that can make me the most amount of money without spending the most amount of time. And for me, that was starting off with digital products. That was me.
Okay. So it sounds like what you did, you found a lane, focused on it. And like you said, the reason was you can make the most money with the least amount of effort, with the least amount of time, least amount of input. Then you've built that up, ran that up to a successful course. And now you're able to hop on the We Create Generational Wealth brand, the clothing brand. Now you're able to hop on other different plays because you built up and focused on one.
Fix and flip. I'm talking about created ebooks. I'm talking about have mentorships. I'm talking about getting on stages with high level like individuals. I'm talking like a lot of big things is coming out, but that's only because I started with one. I started with one, and one of the many things I tell people is sometimes you're overlooking. Like sometimes you really digging too deep and trying to figure out what's going to work out, the exact plan. Like, and I'll tell you this, one of the main things I love that my mentor says all the time is commit first, figure out the rest later. Commit first, figure out the rest later, meaning
I like that.
It's never going to be the perfect time in order for you to start that business. It's never going to be structured to where it's going to say, hey, Jaylen, you know what? You're making a good amount of money. You need to go start that business. It's never going to be, hey, Jaylen, like the kids are leaving the house. Like you may be waiting for your kids to get out the house. You may be waiting for that next promotion. You may be waiting for your boss to leave. You may be waiting for that house to close. You may be waiting for you to get into the new house. You may be waiting for a new husband. You may be waiting for a new spouse, significant other. I don't know what you're waiting for, but I'll tell you this, it's never going to be a perfect time. One thing I heard that somebody told me, they said, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started in order for you to be great. So you really got to go all in on you. You got to go all in on your dreams. You got to start now. Like, when is the best time to start? Now. Like, when should I start? Now.
100%.
Like, what are we waiting on? Let's start now, because where we are now is based off of decisions that we've made 5 years ago. But where we will be in the next 5 years is based off of the decisions that we make now. So I need you guys to act immediately.
It makes complete sense, bro. Man, I really appreciate you joining the FY Fly podcast and dropping all these gems on our fly folks, man.
Yeah,
if you got any final words for them, let them know where to reach you. Go ahead, man.
On social media at Jaylen Feliciano. You guys can find me on Instagram there. If you guys got any type of value out of this, like, let me know. Just shoot me a DM. Let me know that you guys came from this, so I can follow you guys back. I definitely want to tap in with you guys as well, see how I can bring and add value to you guys' life, whatever it is. And one thing I do want to do, I want to give out one of my free business credit unlocked ebooks. And in that, I literally give out a $250,000 business credit roadmap, literally from start here to start date here. And it literally tells you what you need to have, what you need to do in order for you to get max $250,000 in funding. And you can accomplish this in less than a year. Right. So I want everybody to text FYI to 74121. I want to say that again. Text FYI to 74121. Right. And you guys can tap in with me. And I'll be sure to get you guys a free ebook. Again, it's not going to cost you anything. I'll give you guys my free business credit unlock ebook on behalf of FYI Fly podcast, just for you guys. So again, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I'm humbled. I'm blessed. I hope this, definitely helps somebody get to that next level. But again, it only works if you work. So I need you guys to really execute. I need you guys to be laser focused on what you want, on your dreams, on your goals, and don't take nothing less than 110% from yourself. You have to go all in on you. You have to go all in on your kids, on your future, on your spouse, on your significant other. All right. But again, it only works if you work. So I appreciate you, though. Thank you for having me, brother.
Come on now. 100%, man. Thank you again. And for all my folks listening, y'all heard what he said. It's only going to work if you work. So not only learning, but we implementing and we applying this game directly into our lives. In the next 5 minutes, like my man said, right now. Right now. So everybody listening, we need y'all too.
Thank you all for listening to FY Fly, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.